What sort of effect do you think Christmas will have on those who have mixed coming up to the New Year period?
Yeah, well, so we do know that the virus on average takes about 5 or 6 days after you've been infected to sort of show itself for you to develop symptoms. And we know that that's the point at which you're at your sort of peak infectiousness. So if you think about people mixing on Christmas Day, if there were any people that were infectious at that point and have passed it on to their friends or relatives, those friends and relatives are likely to be at their peak infectiousness on New Year's Eve. So that's an even more important reason for us to really avoid mixing on New Year's Eve, is that if you have mixed outside your household on Christmas Day, you are at risk of being infected, and you're at risk of being infectious and infecting other people on New Year's Eve. So I guess the message is really try and protect your friends and family and community. Please don't mix on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and obviously it's clear to see the NHS, you know, at the hospitals and in the primary care networks is under a lot of pressure, and that mixing on New Year's Eve could put us back further and put those NHS workers we've so happily clapped and said thank you to in even more danger. And none of us would really want that alongside hurting our friends and family. And just finally, before we wish everyone a happy New Year, as happy as it can be, what would be your final advice and sort of words to people?
I think just finally that we've all had a pretty rubbish year this year, and I completely have so much sympathy for people who just want to celebrate the end of this year. Frankly, I wish I was having a big party to celebrate the end too. But I think we just need to think about the big party that we can have at the end of this, when we are all safe, when we can mix safely and really enjoy planning for that day, rather than putting ourselves at risk now and potentially setting ourselves even further back and putting ourselves at risk of an even longer lockdown and more deaths, essentially. I know it's not a nice thing to talk about, but that's how serious it is. So yeah, sympathise with people. I really understand how people are feeling at the end of this year, but please be careful at New Year's Eve.